Hi there, these comments are for LSG, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-Step System to Pass a TOEFL IBT. And you sent me a very lengthy email about your specific situation, and I'm going to comment on it right now and see if we can get you going in the right direction. Now, as I go through your message, I may make some corrections, so I hope you don't mind. I'm writing this email to you because I've watched some of your videos and checked your website. And I think your course will be helpful to me. I took the TOEFL IBT in April 2014. My overall score is 99. So you had 26 reading, 28 listening, 23 speaking, 22 writing. You say, as this was the first TOEFL test I had ever taken in my life, I think it was a very good score, and I got surprised when I saw it. And I agree with you, that's a very strong score. However, I believe my scores were not all my merit. I remember I was very nervous, and I got distracted many times, especially in the listening and speaking parts, because I could not concentrate on the audio since there were many test takers in the room doing the speaking section too. Now this brings up a good point. I recommend, because when you join my course, I'm going to start giving you comments on speaking, right? So when you do your speaking practice test, I recommend LSG. Turn a radio on in the background, turn a TV on in the background, or you can go to Starbucks and record your practice test there in the middle of a whole bunch of people speaking, and that will prepare you for the TOEFL exam, because I do know that it is difficult during the TOEFL exam, and there is a lot of noise, so you should get used to that before you actually take the TOEFL IBT exam. You say, so I know my high listening score is due to my luck on guessing. I was really taking shots. The right answers. You say, also the scientific aspects of some audios and texts made me feel very insecure. It was hard to concentrate on what I was reading while taking coherent notes and then organizing that. I would use the word those there because it refers to notes. Notes is plural. In order to try to write, say, or answer about something I'd never heard of before in my life. I remember I had to answer some questions on the text about body parts of a dinosaur. It's right. So this is what you do now, is you get used to listening to these kinds of things, so it's not foreign to you when you take the TOEFL exam. So some of what you can do now is to engage in a regular routine of reading and listening. I really, really recommend this. I'll talk about this in just a minute. You say, I'm in my final year at the university in Brazil. My undergraduate program finishes in December, and I'm planning on doing my master's abroad in the UK or another European country in the next year. Most of these graduate programs require a total score of around 110 with a minimum of 25 in each section. I'd like to have your help to make a plan of study to get the scores I need. I would say I have 2 hours available to dedicate myself to the TOEFL studies. Now, I think you're saying, I hope, daily, am I right? So I'm looking forward to hear from you. Thank you. Okay, so I think we can put together a plan that I think is going to help you. So your reading and listening skills are already pretty good, but here's my recommendation. I want you to practice about reading maybe for 20 minutes daily. Number 2, you should also practice listening for about 20 minutes daily. Now, in each case, when you're doing your reading practice, actually find materials you have an interest in. So my recommendation is newspapers, magazines, and longer books. I think that's going to be very helpful for you. Now, as you do your listening practice, again, find materials you actually have an interest in. If you have English TV, I recommend news, documentaries, science, and also history-type programs. That'll give you some fairly good practice. And of course, you will hear or see some programs about dinosaurs, no doubt. So I think as you do your reading and listening practice, you need to get in the habit of note-taking. And from the looks of it, it's probably not a bad idea to, as I said during the listening, as you do listening practice, don't have just perfect conditions. It's okay if you have some background noise or some distractions, because you want to try to concentrate during those distractions, which is what you're going to have to do during the TOEFL IBT exam. But anyway, get back to this. So you're focusing on the main and the most important supporting points of the reading and the listening passages. Now, using your notes, I want you to write 3 250-word summaries each week. I think that will be helpful for you. Remember that your summaries are based on the notes that you're taking on the reading and the listening passages that you're practicing. Now, in addition to writing about the reading and listening passages, you should also be speaking about them. So I'm going to say give 3 60-second oral summaries also. And I even recommend that you record your voice explaining those ideas so you can listen to it later on. Now, these are my first 5 suggestions, right? So these first 5 suggestions, they don't really have to do with my online course, other than it's just getting you the exposure that you need for your English language ability development. Remember, you want a high score of 110, and based on your email, it was very well written. I have a good feeling that your goal is reasonable. I'm pretty sure you will be able to do this. The question is, how long will it take? And I'm hoping it won't take more than about maybe 2 to 5 months for you to get this goal. That would be my best guess right now. Okay, now let's get into my online TOEFL course. I'm not going to really give you, I'm not going to recommend a study guide necessarily. What I'm going to say is focus a lot in the, I'm going to say pronunciation, speaking, and writing parts of my course. This is where I have a good feeling that you're going to excel. You're going to do really well. So my goal is to help you get above 28 to 29 points in the writing, and also I want to help you get at least 25 or higher on the speaking section. Hopefully we can get your score close to 30 points on the speaking, but it just depends on how much of an accent you have right now, how much of a non-native speaker accent you have. So that's my recommendation. So you follow the first 5 things, and then when you get into my online course, focus a lot on the pronunciation, speaking, and writing parts of my course. So in the speaking section, for example, I have over 300 independent speaking tasks that you can practice, and you can start posting 1 per day, and I will start giving you comments. As I give you speaking comments, I recommend that you write down some notes in the speaking journal so you can get used to the pronunciation, language use, and topic development issues you're having. So, in addition to that, you should also be completing independent and integrated writing practice tests on a daily basis. So hopefully, if you use my course for at least 2 months, you should complete at least during that time 30 to 50 speaking and writing practice tests. And all of that practice is really, really going to help you excel on the TOEFL IBT exam. And one more thing. In the pronunciation area of my course, which I think is going to be very important for you, you should take the pretest. Take my pronunciation pretest very quickly, and that'll give me a chance to diagnose your pronunciation problems. All right, so those are my comments for you. Good luck to you. Thank you for the email that you sent me, and I hope that you'll consider joining my course, and I think maybe over a period of just a few months, you should be getting very close to reaching your goal. Now, if you want to do this, maybe when the time is right for you, you can take a full-length TOEFL IBT practice test. I don't actually offer full-length practice tests on my website, but I have a partner company which does, and you can take one through that company, and it's a 5-hour TOEFL exam. It's a practice exam, and I think that would be a very good indicator of where you are. So if you take that practice test after a couple of months, then you can see your overall score, you can see your subtotals in the reading, listening, speaking, and writing, and then you can make a decision. How close are you to 110 on that practice test? Now remember, as you're doing the listening and the speaking portions of the exam, you can use headphones, of course, right? But like I said, make sure you have a TV on in the background. Have some noise in the background. So you try to concentrate even with the noise. So I think that would be a good practice for you. All right, so thank you very much. And all the best to your high-scoring TOEFL success.